us pay for this one.
Okay, that last part is not smooth. All of that. Don't we love you. We love you. We love you.
Oh yeah, so that happened. I guess Idris was staying at our hotel, so we seen him on the way to the beach. And this is my crew. Half of them were so sick of me filming and taking pictures, and the other half were a lot of fun.
It's okay. Yo, I got it. My budget. I got it. Thank you.
So I want people to come here, what you see in New York, what you see in California, sort of replica that, right? So I'm trying to make sure the sexiest building have the sexiest office. That's the whole thing. So you see, this represents us. And for me, this is really who we are as a family. You know, we connect, we communicate, we collaborate, and that's how I make this point here. And so you will have for your hot desking. So you will have all of this. We've calculated you will have probably about 24 desks and chairs will be here. I don't want it to be too cramped, but every one of them is going to be facing this way.
Okay.
This is the hallway, yes. Sort of hang out and make it chill. And so the day that we celebrate March 11th, when the slaves arrived, or the Nova Scotian our folks arrived, was the day we launched. So at that point right there, you see the last, I don't know if that's what you call it, jetty, the one with the flag, where the tree is. That's the exact point where they landed. When they came from Nova Scotia, that point right there. That's why I was asking Diallo if you've been to that place. So it's actually a walking distance from here, just to go to that point there.
Groups of you who are here to get citizenship, right? Today you completed probably what I would say one of the second major steps. Give yourself a hand. You completed your application. And then the next major step on Monday will be when you go to immigration to get fingerprinted. And then the next major step after that will be when His Excellency, the President of Sierra Leone, personally hands you your passport, right? So everybody came here because they traced their ancestry with African ancestry.
The past few days have been nothing short of amazing. The warm welcome that we received upon arriving at the Shangri-La for our Heritage and Business Investment Workshop was very profound. I had a lot of fun. I had to break out of my shell. My tour guide, Diallo, kind of urged me into dancing with the drummer. He was like, he's calling you out. I danced in high school. I just have not danced in public in front of people, in front of strangers in I don't know how many years. So I was very self-conscious, very uncomfortable, but I had a lot of fun, and it was really, really fun. So that was awesome. So the workshop was very interesting. There were interviewees from different agencies. So there were different ministers that were there. You had the Minister of Tourism, you had the Minister of Education, and basically the whole entire point of the Heritage and Business Investment Workshop was to educate us on the country and to have an open panel discussion about ways that we believe we can make an impact. So one of the concerns that we voiced during our visit, because they were asking for feedback, is the beaches and cleaning up the beaches. And even though it's cleaned up on a weekly basis or even a daily basis, I know when I was spending my time out at the beach the other morning, we seen the recycling crew picking up and cleaning up. So it's not like nothing's being done. It's just that what's being done is not sufficient. It's not working. So I was astonished. We had to open up the heritage workshop with prayer. So there was a Christian prayer and there was a Muslim prayer. And that was noted on the agenda. However, what I was not aware of is that it would not be from someone here in Sierra Leone or like a minister from one of the boards. So they actually picked people from the diaspora to do the prayer, to open up our workshop and our ceremony, I guess you could call it. So there was a gentleman that actually came with my group. So there are about 4 groups here. There's about 50 of us here. So my group has about 15 of us. So there's a gentleman from my group that actually opened up and did the Christian prayer. So they were like, okay, we're going to begin with the Christian prayer. And I'm looking around, you know, waiting to see who's going to speak. And it's one of the gentlemen from our group. So I was like, oh, that's really sweet. Then they were like, okay, now we're going to do the Muslim prayer. So I'm waiting for somebody to do the Muslim prayer. And I just keep hearing behind me, Aisha, Aisha, Aisha. And I'm like, oh my God. So alhamdulillah, I've felt very honored to basically open up my introduction to being a citizen here in Sierra Leone, coming back home with a prayer from my heart of my own that was to lead and guide the event here. It was really amazing. Of course I cried. There's a lot of media here. I don't know what they're gonna do with that footage, but I know they were capturing me crying, and I'm sure it's good for marketing, but I hope I didn't do an ugly cry. I really hope I didn't. But yeah, there were a lot of tears, lots of happy tears, lots of sad tears, lots of joy. The event was amazing. We wrapped it up with a lunch and more music. They gave us lots of information and contacts and basically letting us know who we need to reach when we need help, who we need to reach when we have questions, who we need to reach if we want to come home permanently, who we need to reach if we want to open bank accounts, or who we need to reach for the various things that we want to do here. If we want to buy property, if we want to rent property, if we want to buy land, if we want to build schools, if we want to build libraries. So yeah, the workshop was amazing, and yeah, it was an amazing experience.
The next step is we go to immigration and they do your fingerprinting. After the fingerprinting, the next step is getting your passport. So it's two official steps, 2 more official steps in the process.
So I just wrapped up my morning at the Monuments and Relics Commission in Freetown. So I'm not actually sure if it's in Freetown. I believe it's in Freetown. So there's little districts and there's different cities, and I'm still learning. But I just finished up my passport application and turning in all of my paperwork. Alhamdulillah, Aisha Rahman is going to be an official citizen of Sierra Leone. This is going to be my home. Like, I don't even think it's really hit me yet. Of course I cried during the workshop, but I don't think it's really hit me. Is like I'm returning home for myself, but also for my ancestors that left, not by choice, but by force. I am returning home by choice for my ancestors that were unable to make that choice and to make that decision. So that's one of the things I feel is when you do something like this, it's not just for yourself. When you take your Ancestry DNA test, it's not just for yourself. It's for your ancestors, and it's for those who come after you. So one day we will be ancestors. So it's really crazy, this whole entire experience. It's been amazing. So after we did the passports, we did a little bit of shopping, and then we had another business meeting, which was basically at a co-working space that we were invited to use if we were to open up businesses here. But more importantly, it gave us an opportunity to connect with other Africans that were in the diaspora that have returned home. and to learn about their experience as returnees, as business owners, as people who have started NGOs, or people who are working on different projects here, or people who are just living their lives. But yeah, last night it was amazing. We had a big celebration after, and now all that's left is just to do my fingerprints, and then the president will actually hand me my passport. Like, yeah, all of this in 1 week. Like, I still have another week to be here. And I think the second week is just gonna be kind of me finding my footing and beginning to live here and to be here as a citizen, no longer as a visitor. So I'm really looking forward to what that's gonna look like. I have no idea what that's gonna look like. I mean, there's ideas in my head of what I thought I wanted to do when I came, but just being here and experiencing it all, I'm now realizing that there's so much more that I can do being here. So yeah, that's awesome. So I'm finding it a bit challenging to fast Ramadan here while I'm in Sierra Leone, and it's not due to being in Sierra Leone at all. So the weather is great. It's very cool. It's not very cool, but it's not as hot as I expected. It's not as humid. However, I'm trying to figure out a nice way to say this. I have attempted to order breakfast for suhoor. I was successful yesterday, and only so because I had food from the workshop event that I did by Citizen Workshop. They gave out fruit, and I just didn't eat all my food, so I brought it here, stuck it in the refrigerator, and I had that. The day before that, I attempted to call downstairs, and nobody answered the phone. This morning, I called downstairs almost 3 hours ago, and no one has brought me my food. So I'm gonna have to go downstairs and complain. I hate to be that person, but yeah, because either that or I'm not gonna be able to fast while I'm here, because yeah. And then the other thing is, I paid for meals with my trip. So I feel like, should I be fasting or should I not be fasting? You have the option to fast when you're traveling. You don't have to fast. And something is telling me that I should just fast when I get home. But I wanted to fast here, here at home. I wanted to fast here in Sierra Leone. It's my first Ramadan here, my first fast here. My first Ramadan here as a Sierra Leonean. So I wanted to fast at home. I'm home. I wanted to experience Ramadan here. So seen the masjid yesterday. It's one of the oldest masjids here. I didn't go inside. I seen it from the distance, but I hope that I will be able to go inside while I'm here. So yeah.